From Studio 300 on Cal Poly's campus, you're watching Cptv.
Coming up today on Cptv, Cal Poly's baseball team has their best start of the season in 32 years.
New signs around San Luis Obispo ban overnight camping, and a Cal Poly student finds a tasty way to raise money to study abroad.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Armando Garcia.
And I'm Ashley Whittingham. You're watching Cptv.
Just a few hours remain before across-the-board federal spending cuts take effect.
The sequester cuts will take place at midnight, and federal spending will be reduced by $85 billion. Californians can expect to see some significant changes, even if they are not immediate. California will lose almost $90 million for primary and secondary education, and almost $63 million towards education for children with disabilities. Cuts will also be made to funding for the environment, fish and wildlife protection, and public health. Nearly 64,000 civilian defense jobs will also be cut. This morning, the president referred to the forced spending cuts as dumb and arbitrary and says that they are unnecessary and inexcusable. The final decision will be announced sometime today.
144 cardinals gathered as Pope Benedict XVI said his final farewell yesterday. Benedict is the first leader of the Catholic faith to resign in 6 centuries. A crowd of thousands welcomed Pope Benedict's retirement as he arrived to his new temporary home, Castel Gandolfo. Church officials are in the process of electing the new pope, but the Vatican remains empty until the new successor is named.
The Cal Poly student who was found with a rifle in his dorm room last week has withdrawn from the school. University police determined that the student only had the rifle in his room for a couple of days and that he was not dangerous. UPD Chief George Hughes told KCOY that since the student was not a threat and decided to withdraw from campus, no charges are being filed. If he was charged, he could have faced jail time. Cal Poly prohibits firearms on campus unless the owner has a concealed weapons permit.
Cal Poly's baseball team is off to their best start of the season in 32 years. The Mustangs have now won 14 games in a row, 7 from this season and 7 from the 2012 season. They swept Seattle in 3 games this past weekend. The team has strong pitching and defense this season, along with several hot hitters that have assisted the team with their winning streak.
Getting back into it, we have a handful of hot hitters right now, and eventually, the way baseball goes, other guys will step up, and hitting's like a roller coaster. Sometimes you'll be hot, sometimes you won't.
The Mustangs are traveling to play Pac-12 team Washington this weekend in a 3-day tournament.
San Luis Obispo's County Park System formally added Pirates Cove on Tuesday. The San Luis Obispo County Board of Supervisors accepted the beach parcel during a board meeting and discussed possible changes in the future. The beach's clothing optional status will not be changed at this time, but other improvements are likely to take place. Some locals are not sure how they feel about the potential changes and expressed their opinions at the meeting.
When we go forward with this process, I just really hope that you would involve us in our community in your decisions in the future regarding this particular place.
County Parks has discussed the possibility of paving or regrading the parking lot area, adding a restroom, and creating a trail between Pirates Cove and Shell Beach. There is no official action currently planned, and board members welcome locals' input.
You may want to think twice before considering sleeping in your car in SLO. We found out why new signposts in SLO are warning people to sleep in beds and not in cars. Although overnight camping in SLO has been illegal for decades, the city put up new signs this month that warned all pedestrians not to sleep in their vehicles. This is part of an existing ordinance revised in October to decriminalize the offense from an infraction to a citation. The City Council changed the ordinance as part of a settlement reached in a lawsuit filed against them by the Homeless Coalition, who accused them of targeting the homeless who live in RVs.
They may feel that it is targeted towards them, but I can assure you that the no sleeping and camping is not geared towards them at all.
But despite the councilman's assurance, some of the homeless aren't convinced the city is doing all it can to help them out.
Now in San Diego, the homeless down there, the cops allow them to sleep anywhere they can from 9 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning. What if they do that here?
The city ordinance prohibits anyone from camping in their vehicles from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Violators will be issued a warning first and then a citation. Local and student startup companies now have a place to incubate their ideas. Cal Poly celebrated the grand opening of its new SLO Hot House on Wednesday night. The University Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship is working with local business owners and the city of San Luis Obispo. Hot House is SLO's first small business incubator. Here, the best startup ideas can turn into realities.
I think we saw an uptick in how strategic we could be when the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, when this Hot House, when the community got involved, and we can be even more strategic in the future.
One of the goals of the business incubator is to bring Cal Poly and the community closer together and to boost the local economy. Hot House provides startups with the resources and guidance to build successful businesses. It's located on 955 Morrow Street in downtown SLO.
The state legislature introduced a new bill that would speed up the process of earning a teaching credential. Currently, a bachelor's degree plus 1 year of graduate school is required to obtain a teaching credential. The new bill would allow students to earn a credential after completing a bachelor's in education with no graduate program experience. However, if a student did not study education at a 4-year institution, the graduate level teaching programs would expand from 1 year to 2. She's in her ears. A family of 4 reportedly went missing in a sailboat off Pillar Point this week. We look into how the local Coast Guard conducts search parties and how boaters prepare themselves for emergencies. Cptv reporter Kelly McDonald dives into the question.
2 of my personal friends were lost while fishing blackcod out of Morro Bay.
According to the U.S. Coast Guard, about 200 people per year are reported lost at sea on the Central Coast.
One of the reasons for fatalities is that they want to get to shore. So stay with the boat.
The Coast Guard station is contacted when boaters send out a distress radio call.
Response time is no longer than 30 minutes.
The Coast Guard can locate people through their GPS, see their vessel, smoke signals, or flares. The Coast Guard says when on a boat, know where the safety equipment is and how to use it.
This is Joseph, so stand up tall.
I try to use the least amount of safety material possible. Something to catch water and something to fish with.
So I don't want to be in that position just floating around trying to grab a fish with my hands.
Most sailors have an evacuation bag on board in case of emergencies. In this bag are flares, communication radios, a strobe light, food, and thermal blankets. Many recommend having life rafts in case you have to abandon ship.
So you need to get out of the water as quickly as you can and get into something, or else you've got 20 minutes before you go into shock.
Kelly McDonald, Cptv.
For more information on boating safety, visit the U.S. Coast Guard's website.
Coming up on Cptv, one Cal Poly student is cooking up a way to raise funds for her study abroad trip.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to Cptv. Splash Cafe is opening a second restaurant in San Luis Obispo. Splash Cafe's Seafood and Grill plans to move into the building formerly occupied by Mondeo's. According to the staff, the new location will incorporate more grilled food as opposed to fried. It will also be open for, quote, quick breakfast. Doors will open in April.
You can get still hot cookies delivered straight to your door. Reporter Olivia DeGennaro shows us the Cal Poly student rolling out the dough to earn some cash.
While most students are hitting the books, Kelly Bambrick is mixing batter. She's baking cookies for Thailand. She whips up fresh batches of chocolate chip, snickerdoodle, M&M, and peanut butter cookies 5 days every week. The best part? She hand delivers them, hot from the oven, straight to your door. Bambrick is raising money to study abroad in Thailand this summer.
My parents said, if you want to do it, like, good luck, we'll support you, but we're not going to pay for it. So
her goal, $6,000.
I already have about $1,500 saved right now, just with the 2 jobs that I'm working, but I'm hoping that this will help push it over by June.
On top of her 2 jobs, Bambrick is a Cal Poly cheerleader and a full-time student. Still, she finds time for baking.
We have the delivery hour for 4 hours, so I'm constantly baking through that. And then during the afternoon, I'm making all the dough, so it's a good probably 6 hours a day of making cookies.
And she delivers her cookies anywhere within a 2-mile radius of Cal Poly's campus. Just call or text Cookies for Thailand Sunday through Thursday between 8 p.m. and midnight, and you can enjoy her 4 fluffy flavors within a half hour. Olivia DeGennaro, Cptv.
Kelly says she hopes to volunteer with elephants while she's in Thailand, and she's counting on her cookies to make that happen. She encourages people to like the Cookies for Thailand Facebook page and share it with friends. That sounds delicious.
College students nationwide are helping kids with pediatric cancer and other diseases. Up Till Dawn is an event to raise awareness and support for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Cal Poly hosted a fundraiser in Chumash Auditorium Wednesday night.
Cal Poly's second time doing Up Till Dawn, and what it is a letter writing campaign where students or even public can come and we address letters to friends and family, sending out donation letters to see if we'll get any interest. And last year we made $15,000, and this year we're shooting for $20,000.
All profits from the event go directly to St. Jude.
The 5th annual Move to Build 1 mile, 5K, and 10K run is taking place at the Mott Lawn tomorrow morning. The run raises financial support for the Polyhouse project. Cal Poly's industrial engineering graduate students plan Polyhouse, which are renovation projects that have helped house numerous SLO County community members. Many people registered early throughout the week at the UU for the run, and a t-shirt and a pancake breakfast. Kids can eat and run for free if they attend the event with a participating adult.
There's pancake breakfast after and great raffle prizes. All proceeds go to the Polyhouse project, where we do a complete home renovation for a family in need in San Luis Obispo. We're expecting to have 500 to 600 people turn out this year, so we hope to see you there and support a great cause.
People can still register for the run tomorrow for $25 and today at the UU until 5. Runners should arrive at least half an hour early to get their running bibs.
Great white sharks off the coast of California are being considered for the Endangered Species Act. Cptv reporter Kelly McDonald has the latest.
The California Fish and Game Commission voted this month to do a 1-year review of the white shark population to determine if it qualifies for state protection. It's difficult to estimate their population size because they move around and are in an environment that's alien to us, but shark biologists agree that their numbers are low.
Great white sharks appear to have undergone a demise greater than 50% over the last 3 decades.
Through tagging great white sharks, they estimate that there are about 350 adult sharks left, and fewer than 100 of those are reproductive females.
That low of a population number is concerning in and of itself because it's so close to reaching extinction.
It is currently illegal to fish great whites in California's waters, but their population size is still low.
A lot of times when we have regulation like this, they're almost unenforceable once you get away from the coast.
Great white sharks are slow growing, late maturing, and have a low reproductive potential. These factors make it difficult for the population to increase when fishing vessels are catching them on purpose or as bycatch.
Action needs to be taken now in order to make conservation efforts, in order to try and save the little population that we have right here on our coast while we can before it's too late.
Kelly McDonald, Cptv.
The great whites will be under a 1-year review to determine if they qualify for state protection.
Cal Poly's Chi Omega sorority will host their 5th annual mock casino night on Saturday. The event, Chi O Casino, raises money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation of the Tri-Counties. The Chi Omega ladies say they are well on their way to meeting their $25,000 goal. The money will help grant 5 wishes to children with cancer in the local area. You can buy your tickets now for $5 or $10 at the door. The games begin at 7 p.m. tomorrow night in Chumash Casino.
Students got a taste of Native American culture Thursday evening at the Multicultural Center's event Catching Dreams. Students discussed the significance of dream catchers and learned about its history and origins. Students were also able to make their own dream catchers at the Native American Heritage event. The event was in the Craft Center so that students could easily transition from discussion to craft making.
Next on Cptv, it may be time to hit the beach.
We have your weekend weather update.
Studio to tell us about the weather update for the week. Julianne, what's going on outside?
Thank you guys, lovely anchors. We have some lovely weather coming up this week. We have very high temperatures for this weekend, great outdoors weather, and for all you surfers, it's going to be fair surf, about 5 to 8 feet, with a little bit of overhead, occasionally 7 feet tomorrow. So let's take a look at that weather map. Okay, and so we have about 70s, 80s up in northern central coast, and for the lovely San Luis Obispo, 81 degrees. So definitely go check out the beach or go hiking. And then, like I said, high 70s and low 80s. So let's look at the 5-day forecast. All right, so for today, we have 81 degrees, like I said, so definitely go to the beach, and it's going to be in the mid-70s this weekend, and it's going to cool off throughout the rest of the week, cooling about to the mid-60s on Tuesday. And now we're going to take a look at Morro Bay from earlier this morning. No, I'm sorry, I'm lying to you. We're going to go to the Arboretum. Christina Favuzzi took a look at the flowers that are blooming there on Cal Poly's campus. So go out and enjoy the roses to Christina.
This is the herbaceous garden. We do a lot of annual color here. We've got some pansies, some Icelandic poppies going in this bed, and they're just really starting to go. But it does really well in the Mediterranean climate that we are in right now, because it's wintertime everywhere else, so you wouldn't really be seeing this in like Wisconsin in the wintertime, but it will grow there in the summer. But we have a nice summery climate.
There's a bunch of cats that live in this area, like in the horse unit and stuff.
Yeah.
So we kind of adopt them.
This is a California native. It's called Ceanothus, also California lilac. And it just starts blooming around this time of the year. Most of these plants you see through here are all ice plants that are flowering right now. This whole garden has a whole bunch of these type of plants, so a whole bunch of different varieties, and they're just starting to bloom. So in the next couple weeks, it'd be a great time to come up here and check out these guys.
Weather again, I'm definitely going to go on a hike today.
Me too.
Absolutely.
So,
coming up on Cptv, women's basketball went Greek this week.
And men's basketball falls into 5th place. Highlights after the break.
So we already heard that the baseball team is undefeated, but how are the other Mustang sports teams doing?
To answer that question, we have Cptv reporter Trent Murfield in the studio for our sports update.
Welcome, Trent.
Thanks, Ashley. Cal Poly men's basketball is headed to Hawaii this weekend. After blowing out Cal State Northridge 81-61 last night, the Mustangs stand at 9-6 in the Big West, tied for 4th in the conference. The Mustangs visit Hawaii on Sunday for their last road game of the regular season. Women's basketball beat UC Riverside 94-59 last night on the road. Junior Molly Schlemmer had 16 points in the game, while senior Nicole Allison had 14 points and 11 rebounds. The Lady Mustangs are now 17-9 overall and 11-4 in the Big West Conference. This is the ladies' 4th consecutive Big West Conference win. Their next game is this Saturday at 2 p.m. at Cal State Fullerton. Now to men's tennis. Cal Poly men's tennis currently sits at 6-3 after a 7-0 win over DePaul University in Arizona. Seniors Andre Dome and Jordan Bridge defeated their opponents 8-4, and in singles play, Dome, now ranked 32nd nationally, won 6-1, 6-1 on the court. The Mustangs are off until March 11th, where they take on Middle Tennessee, and the match will begin a set of 4 consecutive home matches.
Thanks a lot, Trent. Sounds pretty exciting this week. Next on Cptv, children get to interact with some very energetic characters on stage.
And a choir group traveled across seas to share their music here on our very own Cal Poly campus.
We have some Plywood news here with Lena Soy.
Thanks, Ashley and Armando. This week was just full of entertainment here on campus. Cal Poly's Theater and Dance Department is presenting the musical A Year with Frog and Toad this week.
Katie, tell her.
The interactive musical is family-friendly and suitable for children of all ages. The show runs from Thursday the 28th through Sunday the 2nd and next Friday and Saturday. Tickets are available online. Fallacies is a performance for men's health that uses comedy and theater to address male stereotypes.
Yeah, well, if I know Nick, if he went home with her, definitely got it in. Oh yeah, if he took her home, they went to town.
Cal Poly's Gender Equity Center hosted the performance on Tuesday in the University Union. Students wrote original scripts that focused on masculinity stereotypes they see on campus. The Gender Equity Center hosts one fallacies performance per quarter. All students can attend and admission is free. Cal Poly's University Jazz Band is having their annual Just Jazz concert Saturday at 8 p.m. The concert will be at the PAC in the Christopher Cohen Center and will feature the best student jazz musicians in a combination of 2 jazz combos and 2 big bands. They will be playing traditional swing dance music, straight-ahead blues, funk, and some original compositions by Cal Poly students. Tickets can be purchased at the Performing Arts Ticket Office. Today, Cal Poly participates in Arts Obispo's Art After Dark. The Performing Arts Center will host the event for the first time. The art display will feature local artist William Tuck, and Cal Poly's jazz band will provide the music. Complimentary wine and hors d'oeuvres will also be served. A free shuttle will be available running from the PAC to downtown throughout the night. To view, listen, drink, and eat, head to the PAC from 6 to 9 tonight. The African Children's Choir is touring across the United States and stopped in San Luis Obispo on Tuesday to share their music. The choir is made up of children ages 8 to 11 from Uganda. Many have lost one or both parents through the war, famine, and disease in Africa. The choir is produced by the Music for Life Institute, whose main purpose is to create future leadership for Africa. Proceeds from the concert directly support scholarship and education programs for the choir children and the thousands of other students and children they represent.
Well, thank you very much, Lena, and thank you very much for joining us this week.
That's all we have. Have a great day. Thanks for watching Cptv.